Hey everyone, Andrew here. In this video, I'm going to show you what soft deletes are in Laravel and how to use them in your applications. So as opposed to a regular hard delete, a soft delete allows a model to remain in the database but appear as deleted whenever you normally make queries for it in Laravel. This is really helpful if you want some kind of audit trail or the ability to undelete models and restore them back to their original status. Okay, so I have this Laravel application set up on my local environment, and if I go to this route that I set up for this, I have this basic inventory application that manages cars. So you see here I have a list of car models that are in my database with the ability to add a new one or delete any of these. Now right now, if I go ahead and delete one of these, it removes it completely. And if I open up the database for this application, you can see that it's removed it completely from the database and it no longer exists in our entire application. And again, this might work for some instances, but for something like an inventory app, I'd want the ability to retain that data in the database just in case I need it in the future. And that's where soft deletes come in handy. So how do we get started? Let me go ahead and open up the source code for this application. And the first thing that we need to do is add a trait to the model that we're going to be enabling soft deletes on. So under App Models, we'll open up our car model, and after Use Has Factory, we're also using this soft deletes trait. And that's under the Illuminate Database Eloquent namespace. So that's all we need to do for the model, but the database table expects a new column since soft deleting writes a date to a column called deleted at. So we'll need to go ahead and create a migration to handle that. So PHP artisan make migration. And we'll just call this adds soft deletes to cars table. And we'll pass in the table just to make sure that it's the right one. So let's go ahead and exit the terminal and open up that migration. So remember what I just said is that the table expects a date time called deleted at. But we actually don't need to specify this column and the name. Laravel includes a helper method that does this for us. So we can just call table soft deletes. And we'll need to mirror that on the down method here. So table drop soft deletes. Okay, now if we go ahead and run that migration. Now we can open up our database and see that we have a new table here called deleted at. And nothing has changed in our application. But if we were to go ahead and try to delete one of these models, we can see that it was removed from this query like before. But if we go to our database, we see that the model still exists, but it now has a date that it was deleted at. So this is now a soft deleted model without having to update the code that made this run previously. Alright, well, what if we wanted an area that a user could go to see all of these soft deleted models, kind of like an archive page? Let's create a route and controller for that, as well as a view. So back in our codebase, let's open up the routes web file. And under here, we'll call route get cars archive. And we'll call an archive method in the car controller. And we'll put it under this store method here. And like we have in this index method here, we're going to get all of the cars and then return a view with that variable. But right now, we're using the exact same query that's in the index method up here. That's going to return all of the active cars, but not the deleted ones that we want in our archive. In order to do that, we have to include a method in this query called onlyTrashed. So now this will only return back the car models that have been soft deleted, and then order them by the year column. Now if we wanted to return both the active ones and the soft deleted ones, we could say with trashed instead, but this is an archive page, and we only want the soft deleted models to be included. So now let's go ahead and create this cars archive view And I'm just going to do that by copying the index view and changing some text around in it. Now if we go back to our application, let's test this out. So our route was cars, archive. And there we go. We see our soft deleted car model, and it's showing up just as we expected. Oh, I should actually remove this add car button. That's not needed right now in this view. Okay, perfect. We still have this delete button though, and using it won't do anything because we're still using the same delete method as we were on the index page, which if we go back to our code base, we can see that in car controller destroy, we're just calling the delete method. But because we're using soft deletes, all that does is add or update the deleted at attribute. Instead, if we wanted to actually be able to delete the models completely from the database from this screen alone, we can update that method to include a conditional. So first, we should check if the model is soft deleted. And we can use that by calling the trashed method on the car object. So if the car has already been soft deleted, we want to actually, this time, remove it completely from the database. And in order to do that, we can call the force delete method, which will actually remove it from the database, bypassing soft deletion. And then if that's the case, we'll early return with the redirect back to the main cars page. Otherwise, the model is soft deleted as expected. So let's see how this works. Let's go back to our archive page. Let's delete this model. We get this error back though, 404 not found. And that's because our model was soft deleted and Laravel acts like it was completely deleted and doesn't exist in the application anymore, since for most intents and purposes, it should. See, I'm using this route binding here to grab the model, and if a model doesn't exist, it will automatically return a 404. I can modify this slightly though to include soft deleted models. Back in our routes web file, I have to just tack on with trashed to the end of this route call. So now going back and trying this one more time, the deletion went through successfully, and now if I go to the archive page, nothing's there. And I can verify that by opening up the database and seeing that the model is no longer there. Going the opposite direction though, what if we wanted to restore an accidentally deleted model? So I accidentally deleted that one, and it's in the archive page. I'd like to have the ability to easily bring this back to an active model. So first, let's add a new button next to the delete one here. So on the archive page, let's just add a new row to the table. And we'll use the same syntax that we used for the delete method, except instead, it's just going to be a post to cars, car ID, and restore. And this will be a background of green. And we'll just call this button restore. Tack on a new table header, and let's see how this looks. Okay, so we have our button here. Now we just need some functionality behind it. Let's go back to our routes web file and create a new route. It's a post to cars, car, restore. And we'll call the car controller's restore method. And like the delete method above it, we have to include with trashed since we're going to be referencing soft deleted models. Now in our car controller at the bottom, let's create that function, restore. And what we need to do here is undelete the soft deleted model and return back to some kind of screen. And this is pretty simple. We just have to use that soft deleted model object and call the restore method on it. That will bring it back to an active model, effectively undeleting it. And now we can just return back a redirect to the main cars page. So let's see this in action. We'll click this Restore button, and we are back on the main page with our model set as active again. So I can verify that by going to the archive page, and it's not there anymore. Alright, I think that's it for this video. Hopefully you've learned how soft deletes work in Laravel and how you can implement them into your own applications. As always, if you have any questions about this or any other web development topics, please feel free to reach out to me or drop a message in the comments below. Thanks for watching.